Erasure, Ola Moore. Good stuff there. Great song. Saw them in concert when I was in college. I think I've talked about that a bunch of times. But who knows? You might not have been with me that long ago when I did that show. Needless to say, it's Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there is having a great day. Certainly am. Oh, what has fear done to help you? Tell me, please. Make the point, because this is probably one of the more, in a positively frustrated kind of way, one of the most frustrating things I hear frequently from people. I'm scared to do it. What if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't happen? What if they don't like me? What if? So instead of doing anything, we don't do anything. That way, we never know for sure. And it's totally backwards to me. I get conceptually why people are doing it from a logical standpoint, using any sort of logic or understanding how things tend to kind of work out. It's kind of short-sighted. It's not thinking. It doesn't work. So let me kind of get into it a little bit. First off, fear is kind of a funny thing, just in and of itself. The F everything and run analogy is always kind of made me laugh. There's another one that I forget, but the F everything and run, yeah, if there's something scary going on or you're about to walk down an alley and you get a weird kind of feeling, yes, pay attention to those moments of fear. If you're about to jump out of an airplane with a parachute, well, I don't know, that's actually maybe a good fear. I was thinking, you probably want to make sure you've got a parachute in there. But needless to say, that would be a reason to be scared, right? But again, if you're see someone in a dark alley, if you're walking in the parking lot and you just be aware of what's around, there's times where fear is good. A mountain lion's walking off in the distance, right? Like, watch out. There's a wildebeest going to get you, right? You know, there's a time when legitimate fear from a primal level is good. Yes, F everything and run. I'm pretty strong proponent of those kinds of fears, and I also think that if you have them, you should likely listen to them. It's a good idea. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. But when we're talking about trying to accomplish things in life, now, one I want to use just kind of right off the bat, I get a lot, is people that are trying to manifest a specific person into their life. Maybe it's an ex, maybe it's not an ex, maybe it's someone you don't even know, right? I've kind of heard it from a number of different angles, and I hear it frequently where they manifested them into proximity, close to them, in the same room, maybe even walking up to them, maybe walking right by them, but manifested them into proximity. Now, in my mind, the way I have experienced manifestation, what I suggest to people, and people pull quotes out of books and other places, but I'll guarantee if you read that same book, other aspects of it will probably contradict what you just said, trying to prove that there's a time where somehow not doing anything is good. I mean, yes, you want to do the asking, you want to let the universe kind of make it happen for you, but then when it's in proximity, in my mind, that's manifested. Here's your opportunity. It's in proximity. Trying to make it something like they have to speak to me first, or you can, but if you're trying to manifest them and then you're trying to get into the micros on how it's supposed to play out, good luck. I mean, it can work out that way, but I've found that things generally are not 100% exactly like we manifested them. There are stories, there are plenty of people that do it, but I would say if you polled most people, 9 out of 10 people would say, no, it was just really close. Like, it was like similar place, but it was slightly different. Their shirt was blue instead of red, or, whatever. Close enough for all intents and purposes, generally. But whatever the case is, if you're trying to manifest something and something pops up before you, that's the time to act. And a lot of us get scared. I know I didn't ask him, I was nervous. Okay, but, that's part of this process. So are we resisting doing things because we're scared? And I think in a lot of cases, most of us are. We're scared. We're scared for a lot of reasons. I don't necessarily think any of them are good. And if you really look at them at face value, they aren't, right? There's a little bit of it's just sheer nervousness. It's maybe lack of belief in oneself. It's one of my favorites is, well, what if I'm wrong? And in the case, there's a few cases where being wrong would be pretty horrific. Now, I'm thinking right now, if you're going to cut the red wire or the blue wire on the bomb and you're wrong, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that's a bad example. There's times where, being wrong, maybe with a surgeon, right? Should I cut this leg off or that leg off? Not sure which one's the right one. Probably should get that right. You don't want to be wrong in those cases. So yes, If you've got a decision like that to make in your life and it's like pretty serious and it's life and death, yeah, let's put some time and effort to it. But if it's an issue of going for a position, like maybe you're trying to get a promotion and you want to put some attention towards it, you want to let somebody know you're doing it, and you're concerned, well, what if I don't get it, right? Or maybe you're, again, that person that manifested somebody into proximity and you were nervous to talk to him because what if he doesn't want to talk to me? Or what if he's not interested? What if he's not happy? What if he's not this, right? Or maybe I see a house and I'm like, I want to buy that house, but I'm not sure I don't know if it's in my price. Like, forget it. I won't. I probably can't afford it. What if I can't afford it? Now, most of us, when we're doing this, think about it for half a second, what we're actually doing. We're saying, what if I don't succeed? What if I don't succeed? Now, there's two sides to this. One, we'll tackle it from the sheer just the whole fact that we're just being negative on the whole. Like, what if I don't succeed? What if you do succeed? Like, we can play this game all day long, right? What if it does happen? When you say, what if it doesn't, and don't do something because of it, now it's a guarantee it won't happen, right? 100% guaranteed. If I don't do anything, it won't happen. So I'm not going to do it because it might not happen. So it's definitely not going to happen. So no matter what, right there, right off the bat, you either have a 100% chance it's not going to happen, or you have a chance it will happen. Interesting. I'm trying to make something happen in my life, and I have an opportunity to do something, to make an action, to make a choice, essentially. Sometimes things are just choices, right? Like universe is like, all right, what do you choose? Here's a choice. So we make a choice. But that choice is, do I want to give myself 0% chance of success or a chance at success? I could have a 0% chance of success, an absolute 100% chance of failure, or a chance at actually accomplishing what I'm trying to accomplish. Oh, okay. Well, what if they think I'm not smart? What if they think I'm this? What if they think I'm that? Okay, first off, when people talk about, as coaching with Law of Attraction, how we need to work on self-love, when we're constantly saying, what if I don't do this? What if I don't do that? What if I'm not good enough? Right? You hear some of those patterns that start to come out. Think about why we're so afraid to do it. We're afraid to do it because we don't believe in ourselves. We're afraid to do it because we don't think we're good enough. We're afraid to do it because we feel there's something lacking inside of ourselves. So we talk about frequently paying attention to what's going on because it gives you a great indication as to where you're at. What's going on inside of yourself is what is reflecting to you. I just did a video, I think yesterday, right? So having these fears come up are great if they point out to you what the fear actually represents. If it's a fear that just keeps you from making choices that would help you, then you're actually debilitating yourself. And you could be very well, why there's resistance? Why is there resistance in my manifestation? I don't know. How many opportunities do you get to actually do something that would get you moving in that direction and go, yeah, I'm scared to? Don't let fear debilitate. Don't let it hold you back. Let your belief in what you're trying to do and accomplish. Like, that's why I always say, focus on where you're trying to go. Stop being in the weeds and be like, well, what if I can't? What if I can't? What if I can't? What if you can't? I don't know. What if you can? What if you can? A lot of us are trying to accomplish something because currently we don't have it, right? What if you can? What if you can have what you're looking for? What if you can have what you're dreaming for? What if you can't have that? Would you do something about it? Would you? Because that's all Law of Attraction sometimes is asking us to do. Not all the time. There's a lot of wait and see, believe me. But there is definitely time for action. Definitely. 100% assure you there will be action at some point involved. Maybe a conversation with somebody. It might be filling out a resume. It might be going to the store and buying a new suit to interview with. It might be getting a permit so you can do something. It might be learning how to sail a boat so you can actually own one. You're gonna have to do stuff, for sure. And maybe someone comes into your proximity and you be like, oh my God, John. Oh, hey, man, what's going on? How you doing? Done. Oh, I'm scared. What if they don't want to talk to me? Believe me, if you're being friendly and your heart's in the right place and you're not being kind of jerky about it, yeah, you're going to be surprised how often that works out for you. When you're coming from your heart, when you really want to get something going, and when you really believe in it and believe in yourself, you will be surprised how many people react positively to it. Versus when we're negative, oh, it's probably not going to work out. Yeah, it probably won't. You're right. Probably. And it gets to that point where you hear people, and this is just kind of an aside, but it's funny, is you'll hear someone say, I'm sorry, frequently. They're constantly telling people, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, right? Remember in those cases too, if you're one of these people maybe as well, because this falls into fear stuff as far as I'm concerned. Remember, whenever you say I am, you're invoking the most powerful form of manifestation you possibly can. I am is the most powerful thing you can ever state. Ever. Whatever follows I am is set in motion in a very profound and powerful way. A lot of you want to do something big to help your manifestation. Start saying I am statements about it, and it's very powerful. But when you say I'm sorry, well, you really are, aren't you? And you catch people that say it enough times, you start to notice their life has this funny play about it. Frequently, there's weird things. They do little accidents. They have little F-ups. Little problems occur. And they're frequently sorry. And they perpetuate. Again, look at what you're putting out. Look at what you're believing. Look at who you are. It's not hard to change what you're manifesting. It's hard to actually notice what we need to adjust or what we need to sometimes do. Sometimes we've got to take part in this too. It doesn't just always fall on your lap. There's a lot of people, I think, that want to or expect that to happen. They read something somewhere that states it. You can believe whatever you want. I am not here to criticize. All I can do is offer what I've kind of seen, and I've certainly read a lot of stuff too. And I think when you take it kind of all into account, action is involved. Not constantly. People that do overaction's bad also, right? People that do no action is also not good. There's a mixture, a yin and a yang. Life is constantly talking about mixtures, ebbs and flows, mixtures, yin and yangs, right? Yin and yang, or yang, I think it is. I don't know. I can't properly say it. Whatever. It's that mixture. There's a little bit of bad in every good and a little bit of good in every bad. It's just, it's like, it's how Darth Vader got won over. A little bit of the good in you, Father. I can feel it, right? It's all that crazy stuff. Take life by the horns when you have to. Do the more subtle moon work when you're waiting and wanting to create that environment. But again, when situations come into proximity, whatever they are, whatever you're trying to manifest, when that thing comes in close, you start talking to somebody that somehow has an interest or knowledge or can help. Start talking. If you had yourself, sometimes you'll find you'll just start talking to people and then stuff will pop out of your face and you'll be like, oh my God, I've gotten voiceover work doing that just by talking to random strangers and suddenly just bringing up the fact that I do voiceover work and they're like, oh, I happen to need that right now. It's like, I don't even know why I said that to you. I really don't, but thank God I did. Action helps. Just be there. Be in the moment. Frequently talked about that, right? It's when you feel it, it'll act. When you're letting life, when you're paying attention to what's going on and interacting with everybody in life and itself, and you're really a part of the experience and you're co-creating with your reality and noticing what's happening, you'll be amazed how often stuff just in front of you opens up and something interesting will come from it. And I'm sure there's just many examples. It might not necessarily specifically what you're trying to manifest. Maybe something else that you thought about 3 weeks ago. Again, because you let go and you just did the thought and you imagined it and then you just let it go and you're like, whatever. And boom, here it is. You'll manifest stuff. It will happen. You might be focused and fixated on your specific person or whatever. Other stuff is still manifesting around you. So enjoy what's coming and notice that a lot of these things are probably building in the big picture towards what you're trying to manifest. It's like manifesting being wealthy. Well, there's a lot of things that kind of come with that. There's a shift that kind of comes with it. It's not just about money in your pocket per se. It's kind of about your level of thinking and feeling and being in a wealthy energy, feeling wealthy. And when you feel wealthy, more stuff keeps coming. You attract more wealth towards you. It's an expanding thing. And the bigger you expand it, the more wealthy you become. Same with love. The more love you can be, the more love you attract to you, and it gives you more of that love. All this stuff works beautifully, especially when we pay attention, when we act and react when we need to, and certainly when we sit quietly, sit on our hands, even if we need to. Sometimes, yes, because some of us are trying to push too hard. And a lot of people have said, when do you know? It's a divine inspired thing. It will show itself. The opportunity, if it's an opportunity that it pops up right in front of you, that's a good, like, hey, here it is. Those are good indications. But if it's just one of those, hey, I really want to reach out, or I think would it be best to, just let it will present itself. It will present itself. That's what the waiting is. You wait for the option in front of you, and then when it does, you jump on it, you pounce on it, right? You just sink your claws into it. Take it. It's yours. It's yours. It was just given to you on a platter. So, hope that helps. Going out with a great song by Pink. Like I said, I've been stuck on this artist here lately. She's pretty impressive. Nonetheless,